Hello and welcome to my first pregnancy update. I never did this with my last pregnancy, but I really, this pregnancy, I'm just determined to share my experience, and especially I don't have a typical experience, I feel like, and so I hope that in sharing my story I can make someone else feel less alone. And part of why I'm showing up with no makeup, I didn't want to do my hair, I'm wearing the shirt I've worn all day. I would be clicking on pregnancy vlogs to basically just see if anyone was feeling miserable. And I would go click on these and everyone is makeup done, cute clothes on, cute outfit, clean background, whatever. And it honestly kind of just exhausted me to even look at that. So I just want to show up today just authentically as I look, without putting on makeup and without getting myself ready to film a video, and just show you this is what pregnancy is for me right now. This is what early trimester pregnancy is. I just entered my 9th week, and I want to talk about weeks 6 through 8 really. I found out that I was pregnant on a whim, unexpectedly. We weren't trying to get pregnant, and it just kind of happened. That's how it happened with my first pregnancy too. And I think that when that happens, especially when you know people that are experiencing infertility and you just are aware that that is a reality for so many couples, you really get this feeling of guilt. And for me, that was really that was something that set in. It was also the excitement of my partner that kind of gave me this not false sense of excitement, but it was easy for me to also feel excited, because my partner was excited. And when you tell people I'm pregnant, everyone's like, oh, that's so exciting. And it doesn't really allow you to fully process how you're feeling. Yes, you may be happy, but when everyone else is shoving their happiness down your throat, it can not allow your own true feelings to come up. And I wasn't allowing space for how I really felt to come up. And I noticed I was in this weird up and down cycle where I would be fine and then I'd be sad, and then I'd be fine, I'd be really feeling depleted and low and depressed. And I don't like that cycle. I usually, if I cycle like that, it's 1 month between them and not days between this heavy depression. And the depression kind of came up because I allowed myself to really feel what I wanted to feel and stop allowing all these other people to influence how I was feeling. And it made me realize I am kind of mourning the way that I thought I was going to spend this year. I really wanted to dive headfirst into my business, which is still a possibility, I know now. I just had to tweak some things and rearrange some things and all that. But for the person who's carrying the child, pregnancy and babydom and preparing for the baby starts the minute you find out. There's there's no drinking, there's no any other kind of drugs if you do those, which the first pregnancy I did, and that was hard to quit, but now I'm only on cannabis, which I'll talk about too. And yeah, I just needed to allow myself the space to feel the way that I wanted to feel. And that brought up depression, which is okay. It's not like depression is this, I think in society, depression is this really scary thing that gets brought up, when in reality, I see it as a very normal human experience, and that's just how I see it. And so let me talk about, I guess the weeks 6 through 7 were fine. I was excited. I wasn't allowing myself to really feel how I wanted to feel. So I was in excitement mode, and I was very determined to, which I'm still determined to do this, but I think this is part of why I wasn't letting myself really feel the way I wanted to feel, was I'm so set on having a different pregnancy this time. I'm so deep into mindset work. I'm a mindset mentor, so it's, you know, it's part of my job to help people switch their mindsets. And I'm like, okay, this is my time. I knew if I was going to get pregnant again, this is something that I'm supposed to be doing, is like changing my mindset. And I just dove into the work of changing my mindset without really like observing. In order to do shadow work, in order to do any kind of healing work, you really have to acknowledge your true feelings, and I wasn't allowing that to happen. And I think it was week 7.5-ish that I just was like, okay, let me just allow myself to feel how I want to feel, and kind of mourn this a little bit, which I know can sound, it honestly makes me feel like a shitty mom to say that. Not that I think I am a shitty mom, but I just know how hard people try to get pregnant and it doesn't happen. And so there's this internal battle within you, which was attributing to my depression, but there's this internal battle of like, I should be so excited, I should be so happy, everyone else around me is so happy, other people would kill for this, and why can't I just be so happy like these other people? So that was something for me, and I don't know if that happens with people that are actively trying to get pregnant, or that's something that really is only experienced when people aren't trying to get pregnant, and they get pregnant unexpectedly. Let me know if that's your experience, because that would be cool to know that there's other people like that. But yeah, so the last week or so, which was about week 7.5 through week 8.5, I guess through week 9, I just let myself feel everything I wanted to feel. I let myself be sad. I allowed myself to just rest and do nothing. I typically, you know, part of my job is like being active on social media, being active on Facebook groups. I get clients that way. I get clients through posting YouTube videos. You know, all these different ways that I like make income. And I just was like, you know what? I'm just going to give myself some time off. I just need to decompress and just rest and take care of myself and just do me. And I feel very lucky also to have the space to do that. My first pregnancy, I was working 40 hours. I was a director of operations. I had a very demanding and time-consuming job. It was probably a couple weeks into my pregnancy, and I had to tell my boss, hey, I can't work 45 to 50 hours anymore. I have to work 40. So I was like actually going down to 40 hours a week then. So I do feel very just grateful that I have the space now, that I can make my own schedule and I can take time off if I need to, and all that. So that's definitely something that helps. I guess I'll just talk about like cravings. I don't really have like, I guess I crave things for maybe 2 days and then I'm over it. I don't want to see the thing. I just don't want it. And I have more aversions than anything else. And obviously nausea is a big part of the first trimester of pregnancy. Tiredness is also a really big part. And my last pregnancy, I'll just be honest, like I was a stoner. I would wake and bake every day. I didn't go to work until the afternoon, so I would literally just wake and bake every day. So I didn't really experience that like debilitating nausea. And now I have a toddler at home who I'm watching all the time. You know, my husband goes to a 9 to 5, so I'm home with my son. Well, I'm also trying to balance working for myself. So that in itself was a challenge. But then it was also like, well, the thing that helps me is smoking. And I will say really quickly, I talk to a lot of people about this in my DMs, especially pregnant women who think that they have to give up smoking. Let me tell you, there are endocannabinoids in breast milk. An endocannabinoid is a molecule that our body makes that mimics molecules like THC, CBD, CBN, CBG, all of the cannabinoids, because we have an endocannabinoid system that actually makes these compounds. To me, that says enough. That is like, oh, then this is our medicine. We're supposed to have this. I live in Colorado. It's perfectly legal. My last pregnancy, I stopped smoking in the last trimester and I just did edibles because that's when the baby's lungs develop. And I've heard that if you smoke, then that can affect, the smoke can like get into the baby's lungs, which I personally don't really see that being possible, but I'm gonna go with what research I find. And so that's why I just switched to edibles my last time. I don't know what I'll do this time. I actually don't really even, I'll smoke if I'm like nauseous past the point of being able to function, which is a common reality for a lot of pregnant people. I'm not into pharmaceuticals. Maybe you feel more comfortable with pharmaceuticals than cannabis. If that's the case, then do that. Like, I'm not here to tell you you should be doing anything. I'm saying this for the people who feel like they have to give up smoking when they're pregnant. There's research that supports both sides of this argument. So take that for what you will. And for me, it's about following your intuition. So the nausea was debilitating this time. And like I said, I fully believe it's because I'm just not a pothead like I was back in the day, back in my first pregnancy. So that's why I think it just affected me a lot more. And I'm used to eating like a huge amount at one time. And I know that I'm a smaller person and people are always like talking about how, oh my God, you can put it away. Yes, I fucking know. But now I can eat like, I don't know, maybe that much at a time, like just depending on my appetite. And I'm eating every like 1 to 2 hours because it's like my stomach, it hits the point of being even a little bit full and it sends that sensor to my brain of like, no more, I will throw up if I eat anymore. And I don't really like not allow myself to eat anything. I don't do that anyways. I've had an eating disorder in the past, and that was like in 2011. And so I just let myself eat whatever I want now. So that's kind of how I am with pregnancy too. Obviously, if my body's craving it, I feel like that's something that I need. The things I'm having aversions to are, oh God, I can't even talk about it without getting nauseous. Red meat is really the only thing that's been like a hell no. And then like I'll crave something. If I do crave something, I crave it for like 2 days. Oh my God, I'm getting nauseous just thinking about red meat. Hang on. Oh, I gotta drink some water. Water is also huge. I'm used to like drinking so much water that I have clear pee, and my pee has been like yellow for the first time in years. And even with me drinking at least 1 gallon a day, so you have to really like double your water intake. Napping is huge. I know that not everyone has the ability to nap every day. I know I didn't my first pregnancy, and I didn't even think that it was possible to sleep in the day for me as a human. But this time it's just been a really integral part of my pregnancy, and it helps me be able to like power through till my son's bedtime. Okay. Oh God. I've been craving this. I live like 5 minutes from a sushi restaurant, and I've been craving this really particular roll. It's called the Annihilator. It's a super spicy roll, and I ate that like 3 times in 1 week. I know you're technically not supposed to, they say that you're not supposed to eat sushi because it could have mercury and whatever, but I just am not into the restrictive diet thing. I'm more into trust. I trust my body and my intuition and like what my cravings are telling me to eat. And so if my body is telling me I need to go eat raw fish, then I'm gonna eat raw fish. Please don't take that as medical advice. That is not medical advice. I'm not a doctor. I'm just a person that listens to her body, and I trust my body over what I read on the internet. And to be honest, I'm super fucking over this idea that pregnant women are these fragile beings that can't do anything in their pregnancy, and they're just these little precious flowers that need to be safe. And it's just like, it's just annoying to me. I don't know. I think that there's nothing stronger in this world than a pregnant person. And I say person because not only people that identify as cis women get pregnant, so please keep that in mind with language too. I know it's like it's a deconditioning thing, but just to communicate why I say pregnant person. But yeah, this is kind of rambly, but I didn't write any notes. I kind of just thought of recording this, and I just wanted to just have a really like open and honest conversation with my camera, and just like be real and authentic as I try to be in all of my content, as I show up in all of my content because I just feel like there's not a ton of that, especially in these pregnancy vlogs. It's like people just, they're putting on makeup, they're putting on these cute outfits, and I just wanted to show up today as I am, without my makeup, as my hair already is, like 3 days, the same style or whatever. I don't brush my hair. Same shirt I was wearing. I didn't have on pants, so I put on pants. But yeah, I just wanted to also make this because if someone else is feeling like guilty because they're not super excited about their pregnancy for whatever reason that might be, you're not alone, and it's okay. And allow yourself to feel that, because that's how you're going to get through that feeling. If you just keep shoving it down, it's not going to get better, and it's probably only going to make it worse. I know, because I've experienced that. I had 2 or 3 like really bad days. Thank God my mom lives here now, and she was able to come over and take care of me and help me with my son, because it was just, I couldn't get out of bed for like 3 days. So yeah, and if you're in that space, that's okay. I was there too, and I just want to destigmatize that and talk about it more, because I just don't hear that talked about very often. And yeah, you're not alone. Pregnancy can feel so, you can just feel so alone, because it's like it starts for you and no one else. Everyone else in your sphere might be excited about it, but no one else like has the baby here already. And for us, the people that are carrying the baby, it's here for us already, and that could be really isolating sometimes. You can just feel really alone. For me, some things that like I try to do to remedy that, like my husband goes sober with me. He doesn't drink. If he had a friend over that helped us like move a piano for free last weekend or something, and I was like, you can have a beer and drink with your friend. So it's kind of like this might sound bad, but I kind of like control when he's able to drink, and that's just what works for us, because otherwise it makes me feel like, why am I the only one that has to give up all of these things? So to me, that helps me feel supported. So that's what we do. Trying to think what else that my partner does that makes me feel supported. Well, like I said, he goes to a 9 to 5, but when he comes home, it's like I am the project. You make sure that I have food and water, and you're taking care of me because I've taken care of my son all day. I've also been working for some span of time, and it's just very exhausting to balance both. So when he gets home, he takes care of me, and that can be really taxing on him sometimes, because he's working all day and then he comes home and he's working more, taking care of me, and doing things like dishes and housework and that kind of stuff. He's really stepping up in those areas, and that helps me. So but I think it's really important, if you are in that space where you have a partner that's helping you, be very honest and open with them about what you're going through, and just let them know how they can support you, but also take on that too of like, how can I also help you? So like if I see that my husband's come home and he's exhausted and tired, and he's like falling asleep on the couch, he just needs to rest, then it's like, okay, you take a nap, I got it today. And maybe that day the dishes don't get done, or maybe that day we're eating Uncrustables for dinner, or like Eggos for dinner or something, and that's okay. That's how it's gonna happen. So I think that was something that I didn't have like a very relaxed outlook on my last pregnancy. So this time it just feels very natural to be like, the house doesn't need to be perfect. I'm not gonna clean, and like I cleaned our entire, like deep cleaned one of our rooms, and I was exhausted, and I was like, I can't do this kind of cleaning like I'm used to. So it's about helping that. I think eventually I want to be at the point where we're having someone that comes and cleans the house for us, like does the deep cleaning for us once a week. We're not there yet, but eventually that is something that would make me feel supported. So that's something that I like. So get really clear about like what it is that you need, and what it is going to take to make you feel supported. And even if you don't have a partner, like even if you have a support system, be really honest and open with them. The worst thing that we can do as just human beings is keep our struggle to ourselves, because then it makes us feel really isolated. It can lead to suicidal thoughts, which sometimes can lead to suicide. And so I just am such an advocate for, even if it's really hard to tell someone, even if you've never told someone before, tell someone, share your experience with them. I think I told like my dad, my stepmom, my sister, my brother, my mother-in-law, my mom, my husband, all that I was really going through depression, and I just needed to tell someone, and everyone was like, hey, how can I help? And I'm lucky that my mom can just see when I need help, so she was able to come here and take care of me, like I said. And sometimes you just need someone to take care of you, especially as a pregnant person. You're caring for a human being that's growing, and you just need to be taken care of sometimes. So yeah, if you get nothing else out of this video, just ask for help, communicate with your partner if you have one, and allow yourself to feel all the feelings. Like you're allowed to feel, you're allowed to mourn, the year that you thought you were going to have. You're allowed to be sad that you're pregnant for a little bit, because you're not going to, the feelings don't go away by you stuffing them down. You have to feel everything in order to heal it. So I think that's all I want to say. I don't know how often I'll do these updates. It'll probably just be like as I feel inspired to record. As you see, I hope this wasn't as all over the place as I felt it was. I hope this helps somebody. And like I said, if you're experiencing something similar, and if you're comfortable sharing, please share below, just so that anyone else that is in that space too can not feel so alone. I know that would be, just nice to know that other people feel this way, because I don't see a lot of people talk about it. Anywho, see the light, be the light. A lot of links for how to get in touch with me are below, and finding my social medias and stuff. So if you're interested in that, just click the box below. Thank you for watching.